Hi, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's Mac with 9B4M Family Adventures. I have Blair here with me. And today, we're in Nottingham. Never been here before. Just gonna check out this city center and looking forward to seeing everything we can find in Nottingham. Located about 110 miles northwest of London, Nottingham is a bustling city with a population of 323,000, a metropolitan population of about 768,000. It is a lot of people and a wonderful location. Nottingham is best known for its connection to the legends of Robin Hood, the outlaw who used to rob from the rich and give to the poor. All I knew of Nottingham was the Sheriff of Nottingham. That's just from the legends and the stories, so it's great to visit the real life city. You know, as usual with a lot of these city center tours, we're just getting here. It's kind of midday. We need to find something to eat. Blair and I are both hungry, so we're definitely looking for food. We just made it to the city center, and I hope we can find us a great restaurant. Blair and I have a pretty established routine on our city tours. We love to do a little bit of research on the city, but not too much. We want to know what's there, but not everything. And it's great to find those nuggets, those locations, and those restaurants that you weren't anticipating. If you can't find them, you go someplace that you're familiar with, but that will never, ever be McDonald's. You know, one thing I love about walking around these city centers is that you never know what you're going to pop up into. And I had no idea this beautiful square was right here in front of me. And it's like it's the heart of the city right now. Let me turn around and show you this. The Old Market Square is the heart and soul of Nottingham. It is a wonderful location. It is also the second largest public space in all of the UK after London's Trafalgar Square. It is a major hub and a central location for the city, and I could tell because everyone was out there. There are a couple of buildings around the square that caught my eye with their unique design and architecture, medieval styled. I love that as well. So it's really great being out here in the square in Nottingham today. I love being in the city center. And the funny thing is that this city is a little louder than a lot of the European cities that we've been in. Blair just commented that we're hearing a lot more conversation as we walk along, which is really, really interesting because a lot of European cities that we've gone to, even here in the UK, are a bit more quiet. This was kind of loud. Although I was appreciating the architecture, I was still on the hunt for food. I had a pregnant wife with me and I knew Blair really wanted to get something to eat, as did I. It was the middle of the day and we did not eat breakfast, so we were on the hunt for food. We decided to stop by Bill's. You want to try this one? Okay. Let's see if we can get in without a reservation. Eating lunch today at Bill's. It's a little loud in here. I mentioned it's a little louder in this city. This is really cool. But we are starting out with some calamari with the aioli sauce. This should be really good.
So now my cravings have changed to pickles and kimchi. Before it was simpler. It was more like avocados and guacamole, or just something soft, mashed, a little on the fatty feeling side. Now I just want pickles all the time.
The food at Bill's was pretty good. I got a meal that was similar to something I would order at the International House of Pancakes or IHOP back in the States. So that was tasty. Blair ordered something that I don't even know what it was, but it looked good and I tried some of it. It was great. So that was a really, really great lunch. I really enjoyed that a lot. But right here in front of us in the Old Market Square appears to be some lunar celebrations going on. Let's check this out, guys. It looks really interesting. Of course, we didn't plan to be here during the Lunar celebrations, but it just worked out coincidentally that we're here, and that's such a wonderful experience and add to the overall atmosphere today. The vibe is kind of electric out here in the city, and it's really a wonderful day to be in Nottingham.
I love bubble tea. So every time I'm out, I try to get bubble tea. So I found a bubble tea shop in Nottingham. So we're here and we're trying it out.
I've mentioned in other videos that I'm a huge fan of arcades. I didn't discover those until I got to the UK, but Nottingham has some really phenomenal arcades. This one has some wonderful skylights and a bell up above, just created a great atmosphere. There's this really cool old pub or tavern right across from us here. It says it was established in the year 1483. It's really, really old. It has this nice, beautiful medieval look. Wish I hadn't already eaten. We'd eat there, but we'd already had lunch. The pub was really beautiful from the outside. We didn't go in, but I was really cracked up by the fact that the pub was sitting directly beside a Burger King. As I mentioned, Nottingham has some really wonderful arcades. This one that we went down was filled with beautiful stores and shops and a lot of art galleries. We were overwhelmed because we didn't know that Nottingham was known evidently for so much wonderful art, but it was so impressive. Everything was well lit. It just looked really good.
It's nice and warm. And then I like this too. It doesn't taste. It's a black tea, but it doesn't taste as dark.
They put a lot of sugar in it.
I just want the standard amount of sugar because I didn't know like how strong their tea was gonna be.
This is nice. This is fancy. Oh, here's a cheese shop. It's actually named the Cheese Shop. Looks good. Oh, look at the mice. Oh, these little guys look needle felted. Well, there's a blend of needle felting and knitting. I love this selection of mice though. Someone's a really good needle felter. So the reason that Blair likes the bubble tea is the reason that I really can't stand it, because every time I try to take a sip, I'm getting this mouthful of these little jelly bubbly things, and it just ruins the overall tea experience. I'm trying to drink and not eat. Molten brown skincare. Blair and I roamed around the Nottingham City Centre and central area for quite a while. We were up and down the streets, everywhere, just looking around, going to the stores, doing a bit of shopping. It really was a great day out for both of us. Nottingham was a vibe. The stores were great. It was a lot of things that I really feel like you could only find there. There were unique stores and artworks, and that was a really fun experience. Is this your brand?
No, it's my friend's brand. It's an independent brand.
Independent brand?
Yeah,
What's the name of it?
Their main brand's called London.
So it's really cool in this city center. We hit this area where there's designer shops, but there are also independent shops, which are really nice. I love independent shops because those are the places you get things you can't find just anywhere else in the world. We went into a really nice shop here, just picked up some socks. I think I'm going to keep it for myself. I'm not going to give them to the kids this time.
So another thing that's surprising is we're walking by, and as we walk through all the shops, in addition to all the shopping, there's a ton of art galleries as well for us to look through. So that was a pleasant surprise. Back to the future.
Yeah, Marty McFly.
And there's a Joker.
Of course, Marty McFly, and there's a chicken on a hoverboard.
Yeah.
Joker. It's very pop culture. We came upon one area where the buildings were all painted and it's nice and artwork. It just kind of put me in mind of the Digworth area a little bit in Birmingham. The Nottingham City Centre is rather expansive with a lot of hills and some sharp, steep stairs. It reminds me ever so slightly of Edinburgh, but the hills are not quite as steep as that. Actually, nowhere near as steep as that now that I think about it. Although the hills were not as steep, you could see where the walls were kind of coming in close. You could say, oh, this was reminding me of Edinburgh. Heading towards sundown, and I think I just found the eeriest door in Nottingham. Check this one out. I know you want to know what's on the other side of that door. I do too. But we'll never find out. Yeah.
I see that feed. They were selling some knockoffs. I don't know whether it was somebody.
Vintage clothing. Lord, it smells like vintage clothing. It smells like vintage clothing. Let's keep going. I don't like the smell of vintage clothing.
Somebody's daddy's closet.
Yeah. So we're finishing up our day here in Nottingham, but we did not make it to the City of Caves. There are caves under the city and I want to see it. You know what we're going to do though? We're going to come back tomorrow with the kids. They were the sitter today. We're coming back tomorrow with the kids to check out the caves. So let's check back tomorrow. Okay, so we're back in Nottingham for day 2. We now have all the kids with us and we're going to start out today by going to the City of Caves, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to come to Nottingham, because there's caves under this city and that just sounds so cool. I watched a couple of television shows about cities built on top of other cities. That's not the case here, but these are some sandstone caves that have been dug out and I'm really interested to see what we can find out about the City of Caves. Our second day in Nottingham was just as inviting as the first day. The city was bustling, not quite as busy because you didn't have the lunar celebrations going on, but still a lot of people out about and enjoying their public space. Our second day here in Nottingham, and it is an early morning and it is quiet. Back to what I expect from a nice British and European city. You know, there's a lot of people around, you're just not hearing a lot. This early morning feels good out here though. The weather's nice. It's down here this way. Yeah, the little sign down there that says it. So we got a little lost. It took us a little while to find the City of Caves, but I think we found it here. There's a nice little skate park set up here as well, like that. But I think, all right, yeah. It's kind of under the street, under the intersection here. It took us a little while to find it. We're gonna be late getting there for our ticket, but let's go, check it out. City of Caves. Because we couldn't find the entrance to the City of Caves, we missed our time to enter. We were rebooked for later that afternoon, which was absolutely no problem because we decided to go and get some lunch. Okay, so while we wait to go into the caves, there's this great pizzeria here. We're gonna try and have pizza for lunch. This should be really good. We've already booked a table for reservation for 6. Let's go check out this food, guys. The house. You have to like start getting really creative now. Okay. Yeah. Come on, Trey. You sit beside me this time. Yep. And slide down. Bring you on the internet chair. Tray's in the middle here.
It's a pizza starfish.
So this is something that Blair wanted to order.
It's the antipasta.
I think this is a pregnant woman's food desire. She wanted the antipasta. It's kind of like a charcuterie board, just a lot of meats, salamis,
Yeah.
pastrami.
You just want to eat artichoke.
Thank you, God, for food, family, home, and school. Give life from our day to live. Amen.
We ordered way more food than we can eat, so we had a bag to take home with us. We don't leave food, guys. If we order and we don't finish it, it leaves with us because that's going to be dinner for that night. Lunch was really good. This is the place right here in Nottingham, if you get that opportunity. Nepalese style pizza, which is the crust around the rim. It's kind of thick and chewy, but that bottom crust is really thin. It's not the kind of pizza you can pick up. You had to cut this one with fork and knife. You know, you have to dig into it differently. It was a great pizza eating experience. Now we're heading back down this hill to the City of Caves. It was Blair's idea to make sure we bring our kids back to visit the City of Caves. Our kids have never been in a cave before, and definitely not a man-made cave. We're going to look to get them into other caves in the future, but we saw this as a great opportunity to give them a really unique experience. If a man be destitute of a house, he has only to go to the Nottingham with a mallet, a shovel, a crow of iron, a chisel, and a mallet, and with such instruments he may play the mole, the coonie, or the pioneer, and work himself in a hole, a burrow, and for himself and his family. The cave tour was really phenomenal, guys, and highly recommended. It is a guided tour, and it goes through the history of the caves. It goes through the history of Nottingham, and you just learn so much. It took about an hour to go through the overall experience. It was dark because it is a cave, so you're not going to be able to see very much, but we had a great time. We really would do it again because it was that much fun and that entertaining.
They also use the songs that she was saying so people were coming down here for entertainment.
And to store wine and alcohol and beer.
The banana?
Mostly beer.
But not necessarily. You said yeah. I thought the City Caves tour was a great experience to learn more about Nottingham and the culture of Nottingham.
So we just left the City of Caves, which was a really phenomenal experience, just to kind of step back in time. All those caves, man-made. People actually used to live down there, shelter people during the air raids during World War II. Just a great experience, kind of that Nottingham history that you won't find much of anywhere else. I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest highlights and best highlights of visiting this particular city in the city center. It's right off the city center. It's a great experience to add into any trip to Nottingham. Now that we had the kids with us, we decided to repeat a little bit of what we'd done the day before, taking the kids to some of the art galleries, walking through some of the great arcades, giving them the experience that we'd had to ensure that everyone left Nottingham knowing as much about it as we possibly could. It really was great to re-walk the streets of Nottingham with Blair and the kids. We really enjoyed our time once again, but Blair was on a mission. I could tell she was trying to get to a certain location, and of course it was a bubble tea shop. She was trying to remember where the bubble tea shop was, so we're back through the arcades, retracing our steps to get back to the bubble tea. Take a ride. So our second day here in Nottingham, and we're heading back to the bubble tea shop. Trey has demanded bubble tea. Blair has demanded bubble tea. Blakely has demanded bubble tea. You know, at this point, I've been to so many different British towns and cities, and the city center is always the most expressive and inviting part of any town and city that I've gone to. The people just are always out having such a wonderful time. I think this is where people really go to enjoy themselves, to experience and explore their own personal space within the larger community of that town or that environment. Every city is unique, special in its own way. Nottingham is one that I enjoyed a lot. I love the city of caves. The city center is large and expansive. The streets are wide and the people seem very friendly and engaging. I look forward to going back, and I look forward also to visiting other cities. If you know of a great city, town, or location that we should visit, guys, drop that in the comments below. We would love to go there. So until the next time, please do take care.